All right, here we are for round number 8 of the M.T.N. Monster Truck Nation M.T.N. 2 series. Last time on the show, we had 2 new winners on the series. In the obstacle course portion at Cottage Grove, we had the Canadian Kurt Frankish in the Wild Thing whip everybody with an old truck in the obstacle course portion, and in the side-by-side drag portion, we had Richard Patterson in the Rampage Dodge whip, flat out beat everybody and defeat Bigfoot in the Monster Smash final. Today shouldn't be any different as we take a look at the highlights for the season. Off the start. Barefoot.
Congratulations, Brian.
Fun. Barefoot, we saw in the season opener at Minneapolis, we saw Brian Walmack in Barefoot take the win. We'll see Barefoot again here tonight. But it'll be a different driver at the wheel. Mike Dropick behind the wheel this weekend of the Barefoot Dodge. Brass when the points shake up later tonight. Monster.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys.
At Indianapolis, and we saw Bigfoot come away a winner twice this season on M.T.N. He defeated Todd Frolick in Barefoot with Bigfoot with Andy Brass at the helm of the truck. Defeated Todd Frolick in Barefoot and earlier this season at Indianapolis, an event that was the third event of the season. Then we saw Bigfoot go into victory circle again with Jim Kramer behind the wheel on the second night of racing at Sedalia, Missouri. Here's the replay of that race on my channel. Rainy night at Sedalia It was a rainy night at Sedalia that night. Our other winners, USA 1, who won at Vancouver earlier this season, and Brian Bartle, who won at Columbus, Ohio earlier this season, are not here tonight, except for one other previous winner this season. That being, if I can change my stream here. That being GD, the Gravedigger. We saw Dennis Anderson behind the wheel, the Gravedigger at Sedalia, Missouri. He won the first night at Sedalia, but Gravedigger has a different driver this weekend, Pablo Huffbaker. What are your expectations for tonight, Cody, aka Legend of Wii 92?
Well, I'm not sure what to expect exactly, but other than I hope that we'll have a great time with this event as well.
Night number 2. This is the second of 3 nights of action here at Cottage Grove Speedway in Cottage Grove, Oregon. Let's take a look at our first round bracket. which means I'll have to change the stream once more. All right, Kurt Frankish and Wild Thing will take on Mike Peterson and the Troublemaker. First and foremost, two Chevrolets, the only leaf-sprung trucks in the field tonight. Keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
Then it'll be Pam Vale in the Boogie Van taking on Rick Swanson in the Linux Obsession. Linux Obsession is not a newcomer to the series by any means. He competed at Vancouver earlier this season. We'll see what he does here at Cottage Grove. Then it'll be Brian Townsend in the Monster Patrol going up against Mark Hall and the Executioner. We've seen Hall be strong before. Hall did not have a great showing last night. We'll see if they can bounce back. Expect Executioner to be a threat to win in both competitions here tonight. And Eric Tack and Bigfoot on one side of the ladder will take on Julie Christensen and Misbehavin'. On the other side of the ladder, we got Pablo Huffaker and the Gravedigger taking on Dan Patrick and the Simpson Chevrolet. Two Chevrolets going at it, two strong trucks there. Then it'll be Sky Hartley and Snakebite. Last night's runner-up in the obstacle course, taking on last night's side-by-side drags winner, Richard Patterson and Rampage. Then it'll be Craig Christensen and Dragon Slayer. They got that truck repaired. We'll see what he's got against Gary Porter and the Carolina Crusher. And last but certainly not least in the first round, it'll be Mike Dropic and Barefoot. Barefoot won the season opener at Minneapolis earlier this season. Mike Dropic would love to win here, but he's got a very tough opponent though with Tom Meets and Goldberg.
Wow, these matchups are going to be quite intense right now.
Yeah, they are.
Can't wait to see what they can do.
And we are about to open it up with a bang right here as we are 7 minutes in the broadcast, but that doesn't matter all that much to me. I wanted to really get the opening. I really wanted to make quite an opening here, just not the kind I was expecting here. So those watching at home, I apologize for the long intro here. But now we're going to go racing here at Cottage Grove Speedway in Cottage Grove, Oregon. And we got quite the matchup right here. We got the lineup. Kurt Frankish, in the Wild Thing, going up against Mike Peterson in the Troublemaker. Cody, this should be a dandy race. Our other co-host, and for those watching, our other co-host, Trayman3985, will join us a little bit. Will hopefully join us a little bit later.
Oh. At some point, he'll be able to come.
Yeah. Anyways, first race of the first round of the obstacle course. Trucks are staged. All we have to do now is turn them loose.
All right. Can't wait to see how they do. Here we go now.
Oh, wait a minute.
Huh?
Wrong course. My bad, people.
That's okay.
I got excited. I just got excited. It happens.
To the best of us.
Yeah, it happens. Anyways, we're gonna start on the appropriate course this time. Now all we got to do is turn them loose.
Yeah.
Obstacle course at Cottage Grove. Here we go.
Okay, strong start so far.
Strong start, big bounce from Frankish. And Frankish really back in the wind from the obstacle course portion of last night up. He almost missed the dirt mound right there.
He almost did.
Now he's got a hammer down, and he will take the win. 2.5 second lead.
Very good. The stats don't lie.
Kurt Frankish, our first winner here tonight at Cottage Grove. So he will move on into the quarterfinal of our obstacle course portion here. Next up will be Pam Vale out of Hagerstown, Maryland, in the Boogie Van Ford. She'll be taking on another big Ford, Lidex Obsession, with Rick Swatson at the wheel. Here's a look at Boogie Van, and here's a look at the Troublemaker with Mike Peterson. You saw him last night, and you saw him again tonight. He'll be back in the side-by-side drag competition. But here's a look at the Boogie Van, Pam Vale, the top woman in the game.
Oh, yeah.
$1,500 horsepower in a 572 cubic inch Ford SVO. Her opponent will be the Linex Obsession, Rick Swatson, out of Menifee, California.
Wow. That sounds like an interesting race right there.
Yeah.
Well, pretty much any matchup is interesting to me when I see them go head-to-head together.
Oh, yes. This will certainly be an interesting race here.
They all provide something different from one another. Different skills, different styles.
Yes. That is true. Anyways, Cottage Grove, Oregon. At the obstacle course here. And Pam doesn't know what to expect here. She's going to back out of it coming off the dirt mound right here. Oh,
no,
big mistake from Rick Swatson. That's going to cost him the race.
Boogie Van will take first
Boogie
place.
Van will move on, yeah. Oh
no.
Oh, goodness. We don't know what happened to the Obsession. Woo! Let's look at him on instant replay. See, right here, he gets out of shape coming off the dirt mound and then completely botches the corner, which causes him to respawn in the wrong lane nonetheless. He completely misses the... Oh, my goodness. How did he not go over? I have no idea.
I almost thought he was going to crash.
Wow.
I was almost certain he was going to go into one.
Pam Vale moves on, no problem. In that square off. Next up, it'll be a Chevrolet and a Dodge. Brian Townsend in the Monster Patrol Chevrolet going up against Mark Hall in the Executioner machine.
Ooh,
Here's a
Oh,
look
now
at
that's a matchup I'd love to see.
Here's a look at Brian Townsend in the Monster Patrol. And his opponent will be Mark Hall in the Executioner. The Hall brothers are looking to regroup after their humiliating loss the previous night. And they are going, and let me tell you, they are out for blood tonight. All right, trucks are staged. We're going to get ready to turn them loose here. Here at Cottage Grove, Oregon. Hall in the lane he wants to be in. Oh, there goes the pole. Oh, he knocked over the turn pole. That's not going to matter.
And he advances to the next round.
He'll still, even though he knocked over 2 track markers, they do markers. You will still advance because you were within bounds of the course. However, if you really mauled the pole, you would have I think the M.T.N. officials would have DQ'd you. But it's only a minor infraction for the Executioner. He's going to move. He's going to advance. Yes, we have. Yes, we have changed the rules since Columbus.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah. So Executioner moves on. Monster Patrol just never got going. Next up, Eric Tack in the big blue Ford known as Bigfoot. He'll be taking on another woman in the field, Julie Christensen in Misbehaving.
Is that to be good?
Yes, it would be.
Yep, a misbehaving lady taking on a Bigfoot. That'll be cool.
Yep. We've shown you your 2 opponents. And now all we got to do now is turn them loose. Julie Christensen in Misbehaving. Eric Tack, Bigfoot. All right, here we go. Smooth as silk for Eric Tack. He might chuck up the win right here, and he does.
Very good.
Eric Tack moves on. And we'll be back in just a moment. I'm being called over. So we're going to pause the broadcast right here. And we are back.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Anyways, Bigfoot moves on into the quarterfinal. Now we go to the other side of the ladder. Gravedigger will take on Pablo Gravedigger. Our other previous winner in this field, Pablo Huffaker, doing the driving. He'll be taking on Dad Patrick in the Sampson Chevrolet out of Kingston, Ohio. Gravedigger and Sampson have faced off each other before. Cody, what's your expectations for this one?
Well, it can go either way, you know. These two
Yeah,
are very well known with their driving.
yeah, that they are. $1,400 horsepower for the Digger. 1,550 horsepower for the Sampson truck. And we're going to see who's going to reign supreme here at Cottage Grove in this race. Digger in Huffaker, very wary about this lane.
Uh-oh. May not be good. We'll see.
Oh,
there
it goes. Oh, there's the mistake. There's the mistake from... Yep, there's the mistake from Dan Patrick. Huffaker going to take advantage of that. Woo!
Ooh.
That wasn't even close.
Yeah.
And the UPS man has arrived. So we'll be back after this brief intermission right here.
All right.
All right, we are back. My new piece of equipment has arrived. I will for those who follow me on Discord, I will show it to you there. And we will continue first round action as Gravedigger defeated Sampson just a moment ago, and he'll move on into the quarterfinal round. Next up will be another Ford versus Dodge matchup. Sky Hartley, the teammate to Bigfoot in the Snakebite Ford. Expect Hartley to be a significant threat to win here. He was the obstacle course runner-up last night. But he's got a tough opponent, though, Cody, and it's somebody who isn't a slouch. Richard Patterson out of Madisonville, Kentucky, in Rampage.
It ought to be a crazy race between those two.
Oh, yes.
A Snake and a Dodge Ram. Who will come out on top?
The Ford Snake of Sky Hartley taking on Richard Patterson in Rampage. This should be a dandy race. As temperatures begin to drop here at Cottage Grove. And Hartley's aware, and just like Huffaker, Hartley is very wary of this lane.
And here we go again with the problem. Uh-oh. He almost got landed on top.
Oh, man. Hartley just barely made it through there. He's going to win this hands down. No question about it. And Rampage is in the wall.
Right in the wall. That ain't good.
Oh, my goodness. Richard Patterson out of the truck. Lots of damage to the Rampage Dodge. We'll have to wait and see if they're going to get that truck ready for the side-by-side competition later this evening.
Yeah.
So the winner from the side-by-side competition from last night has made contact with the wall, and we're gonna wait, and we're gonna have to wait and see if they're gonna get that truck ready for side-by-side drag racing later this evening.
And if not, then that'll be a tough break for him.
Yeah, if not, that's gonna be a big blow to him, to Richard Patterson. Tough break. Sky Hartley and Snakebite moves on into the next round. Now, this should have been a first-round matchup in the drag racing portion last night. Here it is in the obstacle course portion tonight. The officials have decided to pair these two trucks up again. Gary Porter out of Wadesboro, North Carolina in the Carolina Crusher Chevrolet. Big 557 row deck engine mounted in the bed of this truck. His opponent will be Craig Christensen in the Dragon Slayer 525 cubic inch Donovan on a Hummer-bodied truck. 1,600 horsepower for Craig Christensen in the Dragon Slayer. And we're going to see who comes out on top in this one. You're going to be torn. People are torn who to root for here.
Well, all I can say is made the best one win.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only thing you can do in this type of racing. All these trucks are tough to beat. And Gary Porter in the lane he wants to be in. He wants to go from the inside to the outside of the track. That's what he wants. And Gary Porter, Mr. Consistency, takes the win.
Oh, no.
And oh my goodness, Craig Christensen out of control. He had crashed into the wall again.
Good grief. That's the second time.
And this time he lost control of the truck. Just driver error from Craig Christensen. He did not hit the wall very hard, thank goodness, but whew, that is a scary sight.
Very.
Anyways, Gary Porter moves on into the quarterfinal round. All right, we got the final race of round number 1 for the obstacle course portion. It'll be Mike Dropic driving for the Barefoot team at a Pontoon Beach, Illinois. Dropic himself out of Alaska, Anchorage, Alaska. He's got 1,600 horses of Keith Black Hemi power in that big Dodge. His opponent will be Tom Mitz and Goldberg.
Ooh-wee. That's going to be intense.
Yes, Mitz, the veteran. Now we shouldn't shrug off Mike Dropic's experience either. But Mike Dropic is driving for a new team for him this season. He's driving the Barefoot truck after spending many years driving the Priority One truck for Rip Buska. So Dropic really wants to make a name for himself here. And to do that, he's going to have to get past a well-established veteran in the industry. And Mintz is not going to be easy for Mike Dropic at all. He's going to put that truck on kill, I think. What do you think?
Probably, but we'll just see what happens between those two.
Oh yeah, that we will.
I'm not sure which one to root for.
Goldberg and Barefoot.
Hopefully, may the best wins.
Oh! Did you see what Mike Dropic did? He cut the corner just a little bit. That's actually going to help him.
Indeed. Whoa!
Mets all over the Mets out of control. He's all over the place. But it doesn't matter. Barefoot absolutely smoked him. Woo!
Huge upset right there.
Huge upset. Major upset. Mike Dropic might be the man to win here at Cottage Grove here tonight. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
All right, the first round of the obstacle course is in the books. Here's what the quarterfinal round looks like. It'll be Wild Thing, Kirk Frankish taking on Pam Vale in the Boogie Van. Mark Hall and the Executioner will take on Eric Tack and Bigfoot. Pablo Huffaker and the Gravedigger will take on Sky Hartley and Snakebite. And Gary Porter and Carolina Crusher will take on Mike Dropic and the Barefoot Dodge. As we get deeper into this competition, into the obstacle course portion of the competition, Cody, what are your expectations seeing this bracket as it is right now?
Well, I know for one thing, it's going to get even more intense during this section right here.
Oh, yes. Especially with Kirk Frankish being the only leaf-sprung truck in the Fast 8 right now.
Yeah, that is insane right there. For all I know, he could probably win it tonight. Who knows?
Yeah, he could go for two in the obstacle course portion. All right, here we go. Here's your first race of the quarterfinals. Kirk Frankish, the Canadian, and Wild Thing, the only leaf-sprung truck to have made it this far. And he will have more than his hands full with Pam Vale in the Boogie Van.
Wow, that's going to be an interesting matchup right there between those two.
That it most certainly will be. Will be Wild Thing, Boogie Van, Ford versus Chevrolet, and I think the winner is going to be determined by the design of the truck here. Boogie Van in the lane she wants to be. In fact, this is what you want to do. You want to go from the inside. If you're You want to be in that lane with the blue poles. Go from the inside to the outside of the track. Anyways, Boogie Van takes the win with a 5-second lead. Frankish, bad bounce goes to Frankish. He's all over the place. He'll come back for the side-by-side drag competition later this evening. That was the mismatch of the match of the design of the truck told the tale on that one, Cody.
It sure did. That was
Pam
something.
Vale and the Boogie Van moves on. Next up, Eric Tack, representing Bob Chandler's Bigfoot organization. He'll be going up against one of the toughest privateers on the circuit, the Hall Brothers team, campaigning their famous Executioner Dodge out of Champaign, Illinois. And you can expect that Hall is not going to back down to anybody, especially the Bigfoot team. These two teams have battled each other many times over the years. And today is no different here at Cottage Grove as the sun is starting to go down here. Cody, what are you thinking about this one?
Well, it's going to be quite intense between those two. As far as I know, those two separate teams, they are pretty known for the different stuff they've done so far, especially Bigfoot in particular.
Yes, these two trucks these are big rival trucks. Executioner and Bigfoot, normally a Monster Smash final in most other leagues, but it is in the quarterfinal round here.
Yeah, that's an interesting situation right there.
So you got a battle of pride here between these two teams. So let's see who has it here today.
Yeah. Chops.
Oh, Hall backed out of it. Bigfoot makes the mistake.
Big mistake there.
Incredible driving by Mark Hall. He's going to take the win. Bigfoot beat in the quarterfinal round. That is extremely rare.
Yeah, very rare.
Executioner Mark Hall takes it. He'll be in the semifinals against Pam Vale in the Boogie Van. Oh, I wonder what consequences that will bring in this very next race right here we got coming up. Sky Hartley and the Snakebite Ford taking on Pablo Huffaker in the Grave Digger, the 1951 Chevrolet panel truck.
Ooh,
this is the second time we've seen. This is the second time we've seen. This is the second weekend, I should say, that we've seen Huffaker this year. this season on the Monster Truck Nation. We saw him earlier this season at Indianapolis. And we're going to go back to Indianapolis for the season finale later this season. So this should be an interesting and dandy race.
Indeed.
Here we go. Oh, snake bites in the lane that nobody wants to be in.
That is not good.
Oh, there goes Huffaker. He makes the mistake, and Hartley almost slid too far out. Luckily, he gathers it back in, and he's going to win the race right here.
Yep. Well, that's unfortunate for Gravedigger.
Yeah, it is. Huffaker just could not make the turn. Neither could Hartley almost, but he gathered it back in and came across the finish line first. It wasn't a pretty run, but it was legal. The officials are deeming it a clean run. Snake bite gets the win.
Oh, excuse me.
All right, next up will be the Next up will be the last race of the quarterfinals. It'll be the Carolina Crusher Chevrolet and the Barefoot Dodge. Here's a look at both trucks. Mike Dropick in the Barefoot. Dropick has shown a lot of improvement since we last saw him. We saw him at Vancouver earlier this season. And Porter back behind the wheel for the first time since his accident at Sedalia, Missouri. And this should be a dandy race right here. Carolina Crusher Barefoot. Two very storied trucks here, Cody.
Oh, yeah. I wonder which one will win this one.
Oh, yeah, me too. Barefoot in the lane he wants to be in, and the light goes green, and Dropick takes off like a rocket.
Woo! What a rocket!
In great shape right here. He is going to win it in one of the most lopsided victories I think we've seen. Barefoot takes the win by a whopping 5 seconds.
Dang.
Holy cow, Mike Dropick is on his game here tonight.
He sure is.
Oh, man. Dropick absolutely crushed Porter's hopes in the obstacle course portion today. Let's see if Porter can come back for the side-by-side competition. We know he'll be competitive in that. Oh, man. Barefoot didn't just take the win. Barefoot mauled Carolina Crusher, easily getting the victory there. It wasn't even close, Cody.
Yeah, he just crashed into a pulp.
Yeah, that he did. Carolina Crusher got absolutely mauled in that race.
Absolutely.
All right, so here are our semifinal matchups. I'll put it on the share screen for Cody's sake right here. It'll be Pam Vale and Boogie Van going up against Mark Hall and the Executioner, and Sky Hartley and Snakebite going up against Mike Dropic and Barefoot. 2 Fords and 2 Dodges.
Wow, that's quite the matchups we got there.
Yeah, Ford versus Dodge in the semifinals. And it's going to be quite a shootout.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Pam Vale in the Boogie Van. Ford Aerostar van. 572 cubic inch Ford SVO engine. 1,500 horsepower. His opponent, her opponent, I should say, is Mark Hall in the Executioner out of Champaign, Illinois. 1999 Dodge Ram, 572 cubic inch Chrysler wedge motor.
It ought to be a good one.
Not a Hemi, but it certainly is a Chrysler engine under the hood of the Executioner.
Yep.
And we're going to see who has the hot hand here at Cottage Grove. All right, here we go. Executioner, Boogie Van. All we have to do now is turn them loose.
Unleash the monsters.
Dusk has sun beginning to set here at Cottage Grove. And Hall is right where he wants to be. Almost botches the corner, but he's far ahead where he can correct. And he will go on into the finals here in the obstacle course final here at Cottage Grove. Mark Hall is on his game tonight. Woo! So we might have a new winner here tonight. But we'll have to find out who his opponent will be.
Yeah.
Executioner goes to the final. Who will his opponent be? Will it be Sky Hartley in the snake bite Ford? Or will it be the barefoot truck of Mike Dropic? Dropic has absolutely annihilated people in this obstacle course racing competition.
Indeed.
And earlier today we saw one of the most lopsided victories in Monster Truck Nation history, where Mike Dropic absolutely mauled Gary Porter.
Yep.
Like, that wasn't in doubt. He absolutely crushed him in that race.
Yeah.
Here we go. Sky Hartley and Snakebite. Mike Dropic and Barefoot.
Oh no. Bumped into him.
Oh, that actually helped Dropic right there.
Oh, it did help him. Okay. Barefoot won that round. He advanced.
Barefoot wins it. Not in doubt either. Holy cow. 1690 to 2292.
Wow.
Barefoot once again. We will see Barefoot in the final once again. Mike Dropic. Oh, man.
That was something right there.
Yeah. All right, here's what the bracket looks like right now. We're going to crown a winner in the obstacle course portion. All Dodge final here, Cody.
Oh my goodness.
In the obstacle course racing portion of our competition here at Cottage Grove. Here are your finalists. It'll be Mike Dropic, who has absolutely annihilated people in Barefoot. And his opponent will be Mark Hall in the Executioner.
That'll be the race of the century with the Battle of the Dodges.
Yeah. So it's all about Chrysler and Dodge pride here.
Oh yeah, because one of them has a different engine than the other.
Yep.
It's that too. So part Dodge in a way.
Yep. Holy cow. Just do not count Mike Dropic out. He has absolutely annihilated people in this obstacle course competition. He feels comfortable. I think he's gotten to the point where he's used to the truck now, and is really powering through the turn. He's not beaming it through the corner. He is driving it through there. Got his foot in the throttle and everything.
Yep.
Anyways, here we go. The obstacle course final. As the sun continues to set here at Cottage Grove. Barefoot in the lane he wants to be. Oh man, he's gonna. And in front, and it's going to be clear sailing for Mike Dropic in Barefoot. Oh, what a shot as he jumped over the cars, folks. That's why they call them monster trucks. And once again, it's a lopsided victory. Mike Dropic, your champ in Barefoot, your winner here in the obstacle course portion at Cottage Grove, night number 2.
Pretty cool. Congrats to that driver.
And it wasn't in doubt either. Mike Dropic has just absolutely annihilated people left and right. Barefoot, you're once again in the winner's circle of a place that truck is very, very familiar with. And your winner is Barefoot. There's your champion. As the bracket is complete here in the obstacle course portion, congratulations to Mike Dropic, man. What a drive.
Indeed.
Dropic drove the obstacle course absolutely beautifully tonight. Well-deserved win for the Barefoot team here at Cottage Grove. Anyways, we're not done yet. Y'all stay tuned. We're going the side-by-side drag competition is up next. Don't go away. Recording. Welcome back to Monster Truck Nation. I'm Tom Todd 774, Legend of Wee 92 alongside, calling you the action here tonight. It's unknown as of this time whether Trademan 3985 will join us or not. We'll have to find out.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right, sorry. Happen. Yeah. Anyway, sorry about that, folks. I got interrupted there. I apologize. All right, here's what the side-by-side drag competition will look like. It'll be Richard Patterson and Rampage. He actually will be back, but he will be walking wounded. He's going to try to come out and pull to the line for points. Dragon Slayer's good to go, however. His opponent, Craig Christensen in the Dragon Slayer. Excuse me. Then it'll be Pam Vale and the Boogie Van Ford taking on Dan Patrick and the Sampson Chevrolet. Then it'll be Mike Dropic and Barefoot, our obstacle course winner just a moment ago, taking on our obstacle course winner from last night, Kurt Frankish and the Wild Thing. Then it'll be Grave Digger, Pablo Huffaker going up against the Troublemaker of Mike Peterson. Then it'll be Bigfoot Eric Tack up against Brian Townsend in the Monster Patrol. Rick Swatson and Linux Obsession going up against Gary Porter and the Carolina Crusher. Then Sky Hartley and Snakebite up against Julie Christensen and Misbehaving. And Tom Mintz and Goldberg going up against Mark Hall and the Executioner, the Battle of the Illinois Boys. Cody, what are your expectations for this match, for this upcoming side-by-side drag competition here?
Well, I'm not sure what to say other than I know this is probably going to be quite intense as well.
That it most certainly will be.
I can feel the heat.
Yep, night has fallen here. at Cottage Grove Speedway in Cottage Grove, Oregon. And we are getting set to go racing here. Rampage up against the Dragon Slayer. Got two worthy opponents here. Craig Christensen and the Dragon Slayer. Powered 1999 Hummer H1 out of Utah. 525 cubic inch Donovan engine. 1,600 horsepower. His opponent will be wounded, though. Richard Patterson and Rampage. 1997 Dodge Ram out of Kentucky. He's got a Keith. He's powered by a 572 cubic inch Keith Black Hemi engine, also 1,600 horsepower. So these two trucks should be about even on paper.
Yeah.
And we're gonna find out. Do not look. Rampage is coming out here just to get points. Do not look for a hard run out of the Rampage. Oh, I got excited again. That is not what that was not what I was looking for. Drag racing here at Cottage Grove, Oregon. So another blooper on my part. I am so sorry, guys.
It's okay.
Got so excited again. Anyways, do not look for a hard run out of the Rampage. Here we go. Straight line drags, or side-by-side drags, whichever you want to call it here, at Cottage Grove, Oregon and Cottage Grove Speedway. I'll tell you what, Rampage hung with him, but Dragon Slayer with the edge. Win goes to Dragon Slayer. He's Craig Christensen out for blood in this side-by-side competition.
And slew Rampage in that round.
Yeah. Dragon Slayer comes. Dragon Slayer knocked out early in the obstacle course portion, comes back and chalks up a win, going up against a wounded truck, but that doesn't count. You win, you lose, and Dragon Slayer won.
Yep, exactly.
All right, next up, Boogie Van up against the Sampson. Pam Vale in the Boogie Van out of Hagerstown, Maryland. 1999 Ford Aerostar van. Powered by a 572 cubic inch Ford SVO. Her opponent will be Dan, Patrick, and Sampson. Out of Kingston, Ohio. Truck is a 1996 Chevrolet. Powered by a 560 cubic inch Keith Black Hemi engine and makes 1,550 horsepower. The Hemi power on Sampson should give Dan Patrick a slight advantage here.
Yeah, it probably might help him win that race.
But don't count Boogie Van out. Anyways, trucks are staged. All we got to do is turn them loose.
The monsters are unleashed.
Dan Patrick, straight as an arrow run. He's going to take it low to the cars, and he will take the win over the Boogie Van.
A real good race.
Yeah, it was. And Dan Patrick kept it nice and low. Exactly what you want on this style of a course. All right, round one's heating up now. Is really starting to heat up now. It'll be Barefoot. Barefoot's ready to roll. Mike Dropic. The driver out of Anchorage, Anchorage, Alaska. The team based out of Pontoon Beach, Illinois. And he'll be taking on a mismatch right here. Kirk Frankish and Wild Thing out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Truck is a 1995 Chevrolet. Powered by a 482 cubic inch alcohol blown big block Chevrolet. Leaf spring versus hydraulic shock. I do not see Kirk Frankish having any sort of advantage over the big red Dodge of Mike Dropic. But anything can happen here at Cottage Grove. We've seen it. We've seen Wild Thing in Victory Lane before. But I don't think tonight's going to be his night. What do you think, Cody?
Well, it ought to be a good one right here.
Well, only one way to find that out.
Alright, the monsters have
Off the start, drop it, smooth as silk. And Dropic absolutely blew Wild Thing's doors away. Woo! Barefoot got Wild Thing out of the hole, and it was all over with. Mike Dropic absolutely dominating Cottage Grove here tonight. And next up will be another mismatch. A pair of Chevrolets, Pablo Huffaker and the Gravedigger, the team based out of the driver from Texas, the team out of Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina. His opponent will be Mike Peterson in the Troublemaker.
Definitely want to see how they'll do.
Oh, yeah. We'll look for a hard run out of the Gravedigger. And that big block Chevrolet power going to come into play. Gravedigger with the win.
And that was quite tight.
It was a tight race, though. Mike Peterson did not let Pablo Huffaker take it for anything. Whew. All right, now we're on the other side. Now we're on the other side of the ladder as we move into our next heat. Eric Tack and the legendary Bigfoot here tonight. And he'll be taking on Brian Townsend, subbing for Paul Schaefer here tonight in the Monster Patrol. Or should I say driving for Paul Schaefer here tonight, I should say.
Let's see. Another great matchup.
Yep. Bigfoot and Monster Patrol in the side-by-side drags here. Oh, I think Boss Patrol got the better start, but coming off the finish line in, it'll be Eric Tack coming from behind. Woo!
Man, that was also tight.
Yeah, it was. Moss Patrol, I think, got the better start, but the horsepower from Bigfoot kicked in. Eric Tack actually came from behind on that one.
It's tight, like skinny jeans.
Yeah. Next up will be Gary Porter in the Carolina Crusher Chevrolet, who had his doors blown off in the obstacle course portion earlier by Barefoot. He wants to win here in the side-by-side drag competition. He's got a tough opponent, though, as he'll be facing off against Rick Swanson in the Linex Obsession out of Menifee, California. Cody, your thoughts on this great Ford versus Chevrolet matchup right here?
Well, that's a classic matchup between those two companies right there. It just depends on who's going to win it, so we'll just see what happens here.
Oh, yeah. All right, here we go. Linex Obsession and Carolina Crusher. Oh, Old Porter's holding him off. And he's going to take the win right here. Gary Porter with a 0.7 of a second lead over Linex Obsession. Crusher had that race from the very beginning.
Good.
You don't get a good start on these straight line courses and it's all over with. Carolina Crusher will face off against Bigfoot in the quarterfinals. All right, our next matchup will feature Sky Hartley and the Snake Bite going up against Julie Christensen, the wife of Craig Christensen of Dragon Slayer, in the Misbehavin' truck. And it'll be a tight race between these two trucks, I think. Cody, your expectations going into this Snakebite versus Misbehavin' matchup?
Well, it's an unusual matchup, but I'm pretty sure it'll be a good one because who knows? Maybe Snakebite could win this one, but we can't count her out yet with Misbehaving.
Oh, yeah. A little underpowered for the misbehaving truck, but never count her out.
Yep.
Hartley with a better start. He gets hooked up. Oh, kept it nice and low. Snake bite. Hands down, no question about it.
That was a good race.
That it was. Snakebite moves on, and that's going to leave it to the battle of the Illinois boys. Final race of the first round, and our side-by-side competition right here. Tom Mintz and Goldberg going up against Mark Hall in the Executioner. Hall has actually beaten Mintz before at a Monster Jam event at Peoria, Illinois in 2000.
Yep, it was something.
So Mark Hall has raced Tom Mintz before and has beaten him. Well, will he get the victory over Mintz here tonight? We'll have to wait and see. All right, here we go. Goldberg and Executioner. Oh man, it's all Hall. It's all Hall in this race.
That was really cool.
Executioner absolutely blew Mintz's doors off.
Yep, you saw it here, folks. He was able to win that round, and now he gets to advance.
Yep. Executioner moves on into the quarterfinals. And here's what the quarterfinals look like, Cody, as I put them on the share screen for you. Craig Christensen and Dragon Slayer goes up against Dan Patrick and Sampson. Mike Dropic and Barefoot goes up against Pablo Huffaker and the Gravedigger. Eric Tech and Bigfoot goes up against Gary Porter and the Carolina Crusher. And Sky Hartley and Snakebite goes up against Mark Hall and the Executioner.
Wow.
Your expectations going into this quarterfinal round?
Well, it's going to be quite intense with all those lineups.
That it most certainly will be.
Only one
will be as we kick. Yep, that it most certainly will be as we kick things off here with Dragon Slayer, Craig Christensen. Now these two names have actually raced each other before in various USA Motorsports events. So we have seen Sampson and Dragon Slayer face off each other before. And they tangled again in various Monsters of Destruction events, which was the TV series promoted by Milestone Motorsports.
Huh.
All right, both trucks are staged, and we're getting ready to go here at Cottage Grove. Oh, man. Woo. Close race, but I think Dragon Slayer got it right at the start.
Oh dear, and look at the numbers on Dragon Slayer. Triple six.
Oh, jeez.
But it doesn't matter really.
6.66 for the Dragon Slayer Hummer out of Utah.
Well, I find it funny.
Yeah, me too.
Oh well.
Dragon Slayer moves on to the semis. All right, next up will be Barefoot against Gravedigger, a race that's normally a final round. But here we are in the second round with these two names. He'll be going up Mike Dropic in the Barefoot, Pablo Huffbaker in Gravedigger. And given how Huffbaker has saw how Barefoot performed in the obstacle course portion earlier this evening, Cody, I don't think either one's going to give any ground to each other here.
Exactly. They just won't, because one of them is going to have to prove that they're the best in this event.
Oh yeah, and Mike Dropic seems to have the hot hand even in the side-by-side drag racing portion of this event here at Cottage Grove. We'll have to see how he performs here against Pablo Huffbaker in Gravedigger. All right, here we go. Trucks are staged and waiting for the green light. Oh man, Dropic is just so strong. 7.77 of a second. Mike Dropic once again blows Huffbaker's doors off. 2 for 2 for Barefoot and Foot against the Digger here tonight.
That was something.
Since I think Barefoot faced against Huffbaker earlier in this in the obstacle course portion earlier. Barefoot running awfully strong tonight.
Yep.
Watch out for the Barefoot truck. Oh boy. All right, next up we got a great Chevrolet versus Ford matchup here. Between the Carolina Crusher Chevrolet of Gary Porter and the Bigfoot Ford of Eric Tack. Now, these two have faced off against each other before.
Yep, they have.
These two drivers have faced off against each other before. Cody, what do you think might have the hot hand between these two?
I'm not sure. All I can say is that I think either one could win it, because I know for one thing, anyone can do it, because anything's possible. And racing is quite fun to enjoy when it comes to who wins it.
Oh, yes. Anyways, side-by-side competition between the Carolina Crusher Chevrolet and the Bigfoot Ford at Cottage Grove.
As long as everyone has fun, everyone wins.
Yep. Eric Tack hooks up, and it's Bigfoot all the way. But it was, but but Tack didn't win it by much. It was a good run by Porter. I think Crusher just had to have a better start if he was going to beat Bigfoot. He was not in an advantage situation. They were basically even, and Bigfoot put him away on the final jump.
Yeah.
Bigfoot moves on into the semifinals at Cottage Grove in the side-by-side competition here once more. Next up will be another Ford versus Dodge matchup. Bigfoot against the Hall brothers once more, except Hall's not facing Foot here this time. He's facing off his teammate Sky Hartley and Snakebite. Here's a look at the Snakebite truck. And here's a look at Executioner. I'm sort of going with the Ford on this one, Cody. What about you?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the same on this one.
All right, let's see. Let's see. Hartley has proven that he can beat these guys on this straight line portion of the show. So let's see what he does here. He was the obstacle course runner-up here last night. Oh my goodness, that was an even closer race than I thought it would be.
Oh.
Snakebite still eked out the win, but that was a lot closer than I thought it would be. Mark Hall, even though Mark Hall isn't going to be a winner here tonight, he's going to come. I bet you he's going to come out with his head held high because he was the runner-up in the obstacle course earlier this evening. And Snakebite moves on to the semis. All right, here's what your final four looks like here, Cody, as I put it on the share screen for you. Craig Christensen and Dragon Slayer taking on Mike Dropic and Barefoot.
Woo.
Going up against Eric Tack and on the other side of that, teammates battling it out for the other final spot. It'll be Snakebite up against Bigfoot.
Yep, that's gonna be really something to watch on these guys racing here. Oh, it gets me.
Yeah, it'll be final four right here at Cottage Grove. And it's going to be a shootout between these four trucks. All right, first up, Craig Christensen and Dragon Slayer, who's kind of on the comeback trail after tearing the truck up here last night. And his opponent will be Mike Dropic in the Barefoot Dodge, who has been absolutely killing it here tonight.
Indeed.
Temperatures are getting cooler now. Night has fallen here at Cottage Grove, Oregon, and we are getting set for a whale of a show here. All right, here we go. Dragon Slayer and Barefoot semifinals at Cottage Grove. Light goes green. Oh,
geez.
man.
Wow.
0.82 seconds ahead. Oh my goodness. One of the most lopsided drag races I think we've ever seen.
And it was quite the doozy.
Mike Tropic in barefoot absolutely dominating tonight. He'll be going up again. Who will his opponent be? Will it be Bigfoot or Snakebite?
It can be any of those two.
Oh, yeah. All right, here we go. It'll be Snakebite up against the Bigfoot. Sky Hartley and Snakebite, who can easily take this away. Going up against his teammate Eric Tack in Bigfoot.
Oh, yes. It's always a classic to see those two go up against each other and their rivals, to some degree.
And plus, these two trucks are on the same team. Every driver and team owner knows it. The fans know it. The Bigfoot team knows that the fans know it. But they try to spin it in a way to make us make believe that we don't believe that we know, but know that we know. Everybody knows.
Yep. But it is fun to imagine those two being rivals when they're not really. It's fun to use our imagination.
Yeah.
It only makes it cooler.
Yep. Anyways, Snakebite up against Bigfoot at Cottage Grove, Oregon. This is a matchup I think everybody wanted to see tonight.
Oh, yes. Good start from both. Real strong from them.
Good start from both trucks. Oh, a half a second over Sky Hartley and Snakebite. Bigfoot goes to the final. The side-by-side drag racing final. All right, now it brings us to the final race of the night.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we're going to get that classic matchup between those two as well.
Yep. Not only two arch rivals, not only Ford against Dodge, but the two original monster truck machines.
Yep.
On one corner, you have these are the two trucks that started it all. On one corner, you have the prototype of all car smashers, Eric Tack, driving the most famous name in monster truck racing, Bob Chandler's Bigfoot stable. Against him is Mike Dropic, the driver from Anchorage, Alaska, the team based out of Pontoon Beach, Illinois, driving for Fred Schaefer's Barefoot stable. And these two both love the look on both of these trucks. And Cody, I think we're in for a whale of a race.
Yep, it's going to be one heck of a race. I cannot wait to see it.
Final race of the night here at Cottage Grove. The side-by-side drag racing Monster Smash Final. And this is going to be a doozy.
Yep.
Hold on to your chair, folks.
Yep, I'm holding on to my chair. Really?
Oh, Tropic hooks up.
Oh, wow.
And Mike Dropic absolutely blows Eric Tack's doors away.
And Barefoot is the winner.
2 times tonight.
Good grief.
Barefoot absolutely dominated tonight.
He sure did. Congrats to him.
Big Red domination is going to be the talk of the town tonight. Congratulations to Mike Dropic, the driver out of Anchorage, Alaska. The team out of Pontoon Beach, Illinois. Mike Dropic and Barefoot, 2 for 2 here at Cottage Grove. Anyways, that is our show. That concludes tonight's show. Congratulations to Mike Dropic and Barefoot, who won both competitions here tonight. Here at Cottage Grove. To Legend of We 92, I'm Tom Todd 774. Thank you for joining us here on a very dominating night.
Yep. It sure
Here at Cottage Grove, Oregon. And with shout out to all. Thank you all for watching this special presentation, and we'll see you next time on Monster Truck Nation. Have a good evening, everybody.
And have a great day.